In the news.
The federal government has stated that the country will exit recession by the first quarter of 2021. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed, who pointed to this while reacting to the current recession in the country, the second in 5 years, said the COVID-19-induced recession followed the pattern across the world, where many countries had entered an economic recession. According to figures released by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics (NBS), cumulative gross domestic product (GDP) for the first 9 months of 2020 stood at minus 2.48%, just as it recorded a minus 6.10% in the second quarter. The finance minister said the recession was also brought about by reduced oil demand, which resulted in low crude oil prices, adding that countries like South Africa, that recorded a 50% contraction in the second quarter of the year, will also record negative growth in the third quarter. She stressed that the government's expectation of a quick exit is anchored on the several complementary fiscal, real sector, and monetary interventions that have been proactively introduced by government to forestall a far worse decline of the economy. Ahmed said while the economy has entered into recession in the third quarter, the trend of growth suggests that this will be a short-lived recession, with the recession expected to be over by the first quarter of 2021.
The Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPA, along with friends with the entertainment industry, have been rubbing minds on a number of serious issues. At the center of their engagement is the tobacco menace, which the World Health Organization tells us kills as much as 6 million people annually and is projected to kill as much as 8 million people by the year 2030 if nothing is done about it. Tobacco is said to be a leading cause of preventable death in the world and a risk factor for several non-communicable diseases, including cancers, cardiovascular ailments, diabetes mellitus, and chronic respiratory sicknesses. According to this coalition, the tobacco industry uses many seemingly harmless channels to addict the youth. But amongst these, the World Health Organization says that movies and entertainment materials are the main tools for transfer of ideas and the promotion of alternative lifestyles. The youth are enticed by what they see and are initiated into using tobacco products through advertising and promotion of smoking scenes in movies, music videos, and product placement.
Smoking, as it were, is something that has destroyed so many lives. Even though we somewhat think it's good because of the kind of promo and adverts that we see growing up. Majority of our youths today, through smoking, have graduated into other dangerous drugs, be them the one they smoke or the one they sniff or the one they inject. It starts from somewhere. So it's a good thing that, there's an awareness now to say, what are those things or those areas where people, or the younger ones, especially children, are influenced? And of course, the truth is, movies are a very essential part of where children or the youths, are seriously influenced. So if we can start from there by either reducing or properly regulating how scriptwriters infuse things like smoking, for instance.
Each time I listen to the adverts of cigarettes generally or tobacco, that smokers are liable to die young, the question that always comes to myself is why, when you know this is going to kill you soonest, then why are you taking it? So the action taken right now is very, very on point.
According to Akimbode Oluwafemi, Executive Director of CAPA, the smoke-free Nollywood engagement with these entertainment stakeholders is because they are role models, influencers of the youth, and relevant in ensuring that Nigerian movies are compliant with the WHO FCTC and Nigeria's National Tobacco Control Act and its regulations.
And why we're doing this is because art itself is life, but tobacco is death. And over the years, the tobacco industry has continued to exploit the entertainment industry to target our youth, to recruit young smokers, and governments around the world are taking measures to ensure that we end such practices because of the deaths, diseases associated with tobacco smoking.
To stem the tide, recommendations include adult rating for films with smoking scenes, stronger anti-smoking adverts, anti-smoking health warnings in movies, certification that no payments have been received by studios or producers for depicting tobacco use in movies, and ending the on-screen depiction of actual tobacco brands. Other recommendations are stopping the identification of tobacco brands or the presence of tobacco brand imagery such as billboards, umbrellas and cars in the background of any movie scene, and a total ban on tobacco advertising, sponsorship and promotion.
And that's the news.